President Xi Jinping of China spoke to President Vladimir Putin several days ago, saying, "In a few years, with the development of biotechnology, human organs can be constantly transplanted so that you can become younger the longer you live, even becoming immortal." Well, that is mighty optimistic of you, Xi, but I understand your fears. When you have all that wealth and all that power, your mortality nipping at your heels probably scares the hell out of you, and it scares all of the most powerful people on this planet.
Yeah, transhumanism is this, the ideal was this radical transformation where your human natural body gets transformed into an immortal body.
The powerful and elite of our world have long been interested, or even obsessed, with extending their life. In ancient Egypt, the pharaohs believed that the afterlife was actually another life, and that you needed a physical body to exist in it, which was why they devoted so much time to the process of preserving the body through mummification, as well as the great tombs to house their wealth, which I assume they also thought they would need. And it is true that if the afterlife for the Egyptian pharaohs is anything like the 21st century, then yeah, they could definitely use all that gold. Inflation and all that. In ancient China, alchemists would give their emperors elixirs of immortality, which usually contained gold or mercury, and would definitely not grant everlasting life. In the Dark Ages leading into the Renaissance, alchemists attempted to discover the Philosopher's Stone, a mythical substance drawn from supposed knowledge of the ancient world that could transmute any metal into gold, and through this you could create the elixir of life, a liquid that granted eternal youth. In the early modern period, alchemists and occultists believed that blood held vitality and would prescribe drinking or even bathing in the blood of young people, or specifically the blood of virgins. It was believed that the essence of youth could even be extracted from blood and mixed with other substances, which sometimes would even include ground-up mummy. These rituals were carried out in many of the secret societies that the Europe's wealthy elite found to be all the rage during the 18th century. But no matter how much gold and mercury people drank, blood they bathed in, or coital acts engaged in under a specific planetary alignment, the same thing happened. They would get old, they would get sick, and they would die. Now the tech bro billionaires are putting their own spin on the quest for immortality. They probably have a better shot at it than anyone before. How about freezing yourself? What about repairing your DNA? Replace your organs like President Xi said. Somehow, the whole blood from the young thing has made a comeback, and now they are getting blood transfusions from their children. And if all else fails, you can just upload your consciousness to the cloud or become an AI copy or whatever cyberpunk Black Mirror hell idea you can imagine. All of this so I can say that the rich are obsessed with trying to live forever. They always have been. But now, in a world that is shifting once again, and we enter a new gilded age, what new ideas will be conjured up now that the elite will have access to technology and wealth more than any human before? You don't have to look that hard, especially in the US. Medical debt is the most likely cause of bankruptcy here. But if you have the cash, then the care is some of the best in the world. If you want to see how extra you can be with your health, and all of that extra weird shit you can pay a ton of extra money for, then check out Brian Johnson as he attempts to look 10 years younger and 10 years older simultaneously. This market for luxury-related health fads aren't super fringe stuff either. If you go to big cities like LA, it seems that every wealthy person you meet is hooking themselves up to IV drips, doing cold plunges, shining red lights on themselves, running on anti-gravity treadmills, doing hot yoga, and getting all their nutrients from a single capsule. RFK Jr. drinks fish tank cleaner because he says it's good for your mitochondria. Most of this stuff is honestly no harm, no foul. If you want to drink fish tank cleaner, then by all means, go right ahead. The idea that I heard, though, that made me think of this quest that rich people have to live forever, that pairs really well with Putin and Xi chatting about getting new organs, was that the new director of the CDC believes that people should be able to sell their organs.
In a free market, recipients of life-saving organ transplants, or their insurers or other benefactors, would be allowed to compensate their donors, creating incentive for more people to save more lives. In a cartelized system, people continue to die far too early and needlessly. In America's cartelized system, 11 people every day die while waiting for a kidney that could save their life. And there are plenty of healthy spare kidneys walking around, unused.
This guy, Jim O'Neill, is really into libertarian stuff and the free market and all that. And when you're poor as shit because you're obviously lazy, why not be able to sell your kidney to be able to feed your family? I feel like opening up a market for organs opens up a can of worms. Jim mentions selling kidneys, but what if you want to sell your eyes or something? People need eyes. Could a corporation pay your family a lot of money for you to take a bath with a poisonous jellyfish and harvest everything you got after? It sounds so extreme, but these days I don't really say, oh, that'll never happen to much of anything. Oh, you want to live in the US? Well, we're short on kidneys. If you donate, you can get in. You want that promotion at work? Well, your boss's wife needs a new kidney. I hear you're compatible. Making everything for sale, including your own bodily organs, I don't know if is a very good idea. I mean, what's next?
And now they're after our souls.
But before we go down the road of selling our organs on the open market, there is already a similar precedent. Already a market in the US exists that allows you to sell your literal life force. Maybe if you've ever fallen on hard economic times, you did this or considered doing it. I'm talking about donating your plasma. They always have those plasma donation centers strategically close to where people that are strapped for cash are usually in abundance. It's obviously not the same as donating an organ, and plasma goes to all kinds of people that need it. But in most other countries, you can't be paid to donate plasma because of ethical issues. The plasma clinics will even spew some kind of bullshit to you saying that donating your plasma is good for your health, saying it reduces risks for certain diseases. There is no evidence for this. Testimony from people will vary. Some say that donating plasma got them through tough times, while others say that they hated doing it. It made them feel sick and they wanted to pass out, or they did pass out, and that even sometimes they feel like their veins were damaged from the phlebotomist, the person who draws your blood, occasionally messing up when inserting the needle. Some phlebotomists even describe the links that people would go to try to maximize the cash they would receive from donating. Since monetary payment is done based on the person's weight, they described several times where individuals would wear ankle weights to try and trick the technician into meeting a certain threshold. And this just shows the level of desperation that these people would feel. These are the ethical issues that other countries are referring to, but it's easy for them to talk when the United States provides 70% of the world's donated plasma. So maybe paying desperate people to donate their literal life force is the only way to provide this valuable resource, at least for now. This world, I feel like, is getting pretty desperate. It feels pretty bad. If you are doing well, then count yourself lucky, because there are a lot of unlucky motherfuckers out there these days. My first YouTube channel I made years ago was all about me talking about the lore of a video game. One of the reasons I prefer to talk about this world these days is because even a fantasy universe filled with conflict and weird gods and demons was a lot more stable and understandable than this one. So anyways, the PSA here is, please don't sell your organs. You can survive with one kidney, sure, but you're a hell of a lot better off with two. And to the rich and powerful elite of the world, I wish you luck. A lot of you are getting up there in age. So if you want to live forever, you better think of a solution very quickly, and preferably one that doesn't involve repeatedly harvesting organs from others. Alright, that's all for now.